All right. The MLB All-Star rosters are set. Home Run Derby isn't yet, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So MLB All-Star rosters are set, and here I'll just run down the list of AL starters real quick. Catching Adley Rutschman, first base Vlad Guerrero, second base Altuve, third base Ramirez, shortstop obviously Gunnar Henderson, and then outfield you got Judge, Kwan, and Soto, and finally Yordan Alvarez gets his due now that Shohei is out of the AL. Thank God. So Alvarez gets the start at DH there for the American League. National League, you got Contreras behind the plate, Harper at first, Marte at second, Bohm at third, Turner at short, Profar, Tatis, and Yelich in the outfield, and then obviously the show as your DH. What do you think about those starters right off the top? First,
Who were the three outfielders for the National League again? Profar,
Tatis Jr. and Yelich.
And Yelich, okay.
Yeah, I mean those lineups are pretty good.
Yeah, I mean you could always dig in, man. I mean, you could always every year you could talk about this guy deserved more, this guy deserved to start, this guy deserved to not. Like you can always do that every year. But like I don't look at that and be like, none of those guys are deserving.
Yeah.
Like they've all had good first halves of the year. I mean, I think it's all, I mean, I think you get a little nitpicky, like homerish a little bit, but I think Jarren Duran should be in the conversation for starting, just with kind of what he's done offensively, what he's done defensively, certainly running the bases. I mean, this is a team that nobody expected anything from, and the Red Sox are grinding, man. They're 8-9 games over 500 right now. They're grinding their way, and this guy kind of sets the table, and he's a big leader for them. So, I think you could make a case, but outside of who though? Like who are you taking out for him? Like I get it. Like I totally get it. I just, I think, like I said, you could kind of have this conversation every year, but I don't think it's an egregious list at all. Either team. I think they're both good teams.
Your outfield reserves are Duran, Riley Green, and Kyle Tucker. So you got to take those three and replace them with Judge, Soto, and
Kwan.
The third Kwan. And Kwan just qualified for batting average lead at 360. So I mean,
but the problem with Kwan is he hasn't played, like he's got a fraction of the at bats. The reason why he barely just qualified to lead.
Right. Yeah, he's not.
Right?
He missed a big chunk.
So much time injured, and like it's taking nothing away from him, but like I mean, like the best ability is availability, and if you're missing a good chunk of the first half of the season, like yes, when you're there and when you're playing, you're disgusting, but like I would, to me, like it. What a guy like Duran is doing is much more impressive, considering he's playing every day.
It's fair. It's a fair point.
Yeah. And, Kwan's missed 25% of the season. Yeah, that's a fair point. Duran's been out there every day. Was it first player in history to have 100 hits, 20 triples, 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases? No, not
20 doubles.
20 doubles in the first half of the season. Like he's doing something that hasn't been done before. He's been out there every day. For a Red Sox team that was kind of struggling to find its way and has started to put things together, a lot of it because he continues to come through with important hits and big moments for them, and not to mention plays really good center field.
Yeah,
it's a tough one. I mean, the one player that I feel the worst for is Bobby Witt Jr. Like here's a guy who's going to get MVP votes.
Yeah,
who's the backup because he's sitting behind Gunnar Henderson, the only guy in baseball having a better season than him. It's crazy. It's crazy the level of talent on these two rosters and in these two starting lineups. It's going to be fun, and I would not want to be a starting pitcher against those lineups.
No, and we'll get to the starting pitchers in a minute. But so National League outfield, we got Teoscar Hernandez, Jackson Merrill, who's destroying Major League Baseball right now. Helio Ramos, who's having a great season, and then Brian Reynolds. So, would you switch out any of those guys for your National League starters?
No, I don't think so. I think Nimmo is a guy we mentioned before we started the show.
Yeah.
I think probably could make a case that Nimmo deserves to be on the roster at all. Maybe not starting, but named as an all-star. I don't know though. As far as like the roster's concerned, like the actual roster, I think they got the starters right.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
mean, I think you've got, Brandon Nimmo and Francisco Lindor had a compelling case to be there. In the AL, Jordan Westberg is
Yeah.
arguably better than most of the infielders chosen, but he was kind of the odd man out. Christian Walker, most RBIs and home runs of any NL first baseman, he's not on the roster. Like, I think there's a few cases where you can say, boy, that person like really had a legitimate case to say they should have been there. But those rosters are super deep, and the starters are picked by fan vote. It's kind of hard to argue that's who people want to see play. I think I look at the starting lineup as that's who the fans want to see play. The
Yeah.
bench is made up of the guys that deserve to be there that weren't in that wave. And generally, I feel like they get it right. And I feel like those rosters are solid.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, we'll run down the pitchers real quick here. For the AL, you got Tyler Anderson from the Angels, Corbin Burns, Clase, Crochet, Gilbert, Holmes, Tanner Houck, Seth Lugo, Mason Miller, of course, Cole Ragans, Tariq Skubal, of course, and Kirby Yates. Who do we think gets the start there? I think it's got to be Skubal, right?
Skubal.
Probably, yeah.
Skubal.
I
I mean,
mean,
that dude is the best pitcher in baseball right now. Period. Not even sure there's an argument.
I'll tell you, until the recent blow up there, I think there was a legitimate case maybe 2 weeks ago you could have made for Tanner Houck to have a little bit of a case there.
Yeah, Luis Heel too.
Luis Heel, not even on the roster.
I'm not even on the roster. That's a whole nother
You know,
story.
I think who was it that knocked him around? Not last start, but 2 starts ago. That knocked Houck around.
Was Houck Tampa?
It might have been Tampa. Was it Toronto?
Yeah, it was either Toronto or Tampa. It was in that stretch.
Yeah, he got his slider just wasn't there. It was too flat, and he was just getting hit all over the ballpark. But up until then, I mean, the strikeouts per 9 were insane. The strikeouts per walk was insane. The swing and miss was insane. The ERA was down. The WHIP was like under 1. I mean, like there was like a legitimate case up until about 2 weeks ago that you could make a case for Houck. But I'd say of the guys you mentioned, it's got to be Skubal, right? It's got to be.
it has. I think it has to be. He's completely dominating right now. So
It's not even right what he's doing. So
No.
you look at his age and the fact he's a rookie, and that's impressive enough. But like, he is by far the best pitcher in baseball right now, and I don't think you can make an argument any other way about it.
No.
He is dominant every single night.
Yeah. All right. National League, we got Glasnow, which is his first All-Star selection, which is crazy, but we talked about it before. You got to make it to the All-Star break
Yeah,
health-wise
I mean,
in order to get there.
Glasnow is known for taking kind of June, July, August off. That was kind of his MO.
Yeah. Helsley, Hoffman, Imanaga, Ronaldo Lopez, Chris Sale, his 8th All-Star selection, Tanner Scott, Paul Scanes, you just come up and make an all-star game. No biggie. Matt Strom, Ranger Suarez, Robert Suarez, Logan Webb, Zach Wheeler. Who gets the start here? Could we have 2 Southpaws with Imanaga? Does Imanaga deserve the nod?
I so badly want to see Skubal versus Skeens, a battle of the rookies. That'd be awesome to have 2 rookie starters.
At an all-star game.
That would be
pretty
amazing.
sweet. I agree.
I mean, Imanaga would be a rookie too, but like not like the same. Like Skeens and Skubal are the young, brand new, up and coming guys. I get the Imanaga's a rookie, but only because it's his first MLB season, not because it's his first professional season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
get that.
I don't know. That's a little bit tougher for me than the American League. I'm not sure. I think there's probably like 4 or 5 guys that you listed that I'd be fine with. Like I think there's a number of National League pitchers that have really like not just excuse me, not just rookies that have come up and made an impact like a Paul Skeens, but like just to come up and be dominant and just to dominate like at this particular level, like every time you touch the mound. And it's not really one guy. I'd like to see Skeens. I think it would be awesome. I think he's a quirky looking dude, but like he's electric. I'd love to see him just get up there like 99 Pedro and just like challenge these guys. Just be like,
Yeah.
I'm coming here with nothing but heat, and like I'm bringing it to you guys every pitch. Like I'd love to see something like that. Like that that'd be fun. But
I
we'll see.
agree. Yeah. So we'll go to the reserve section here. So American League catchers, we got Sal Perez is your reserve there. National League catchers, you got Will Smith is your National League catcher. We'll get to him in a little bit because, he had a crazy week last week. American League infield, you got Correa, Devers, Josh Naylor, not Bo Naylor, Josh Naylor, Isaac Paredes, Marcus Semien, and then Bobby Witt Jr. So, I mean, no really snubs there, I don't think. All deserving.
No, and I apologize. I keep calling Skubal a rookie. He's not a rookie. This is
That
his
was
fifth
just-
season.
yeah.
I keep calling him a rookie, and he's not a rookie. He just hasn't been relevant for 4 years.
Yeah. And then we got National League reserves, CJ Abrams, Pete Alonso, Luis Ariz, Mookie Betts, Ellie De La Cruz, Freeman, and McMahon.
Did you see the fact this is Mookie Betts' 8th All-Star game?
Yeah.
Like, holy cow.
Yeah, he's insane.
8.
Wait.
8.
So he's selected even though he's been on the shelf for a month?
Yes, he was still voted, right? Because he's a starter, or is he
He's a reserve.
No, he's a reserve.
Oh, yeah, he got chosen, but he won't be there.
Gotcha. So they'll probably fill that roster spot then with somebody.
Yes. Yeah,
Gotcha.
I would assume that he's not going because he won't be healthy for it, and they'll fill the spot. Which maybe that's where a guy like Lindor or Nimmo can slip onto the roster after all is said and done.
Yeah. And I already did the outfield reserves, but those are your roster for next Tuesday night. So it should be, like you said, I don't think there's many snubs. Obviously, you can make a case, like you said, for Christian Walker, Brandon Nimmo. There's a couple guys you can get in, but you got 24 spots, 25 spots. So
yeah, you only got so much space.
Yeah.